And welcome back to Live at 5. Last August, we brought you the story of a young girl who was determined to make playing on the playground fun again for one of her classmates battling muscular dystrophy.
Yeah, 10-year-old Lindsay Town raised $9,000 to help bring a wheelchair swing to her school today. She dedicated that swing.
And as Live at 5's Lysandra Brown shows us, it was a day the students at Loudoun County Elementary will never forget.
12-year-old Blake Goins is usually the one watching from the sidelines, but today his classmates stand by cheering him on as he takes his first ride on a swing in 5 years. It's a dream come true for him and his best friend Lindsay, who helped bring the Liberty Swing to their school so that Blake could play just like the other kids.
He didn't have nothing to do because of his disability. I felt that something needed to be changed, and I didn't want him to be left out anymore.
With the Liberty Swing, Blake can sit in his wheelchair. The wheels lock in, a seatbelt holds him in tight, and with a grin from ear to ear, he's ready to take the ride of a lifetime.
It's awesome, great.
The Liberty Swing looks like fun for everyone. Lindsay gets to be the first to push him, and then Blake's big sister, Amber, can't resist.
I couldn't ask for a better brother. I love him with my whole heart. The joy that it brings me to see a smile on his face and to let him be normal, the so-called normal, for just 1 minute. It's a total blessing.
Blake says he plans to share the swing with the other kids, but his best friend Lindsay wants to make sure he can go for a ride anytime he wants.
You are the strongest person I know, facing each day with hope and a smile. I am honored to be your friend, and I will always remember you.
Lindsay gives him his very own key to the Liberty Swing. Overwhelmed with emotion, Blake realizes the difference all of this has made. The joy he feels just being able to ride on a swing again. It's a feeling Lindsay wants every kid with a disability to have.
I plan to make it a law that in every park in America that there's going to be a swing, a wheelchair swing in every park in America.
The words from one ambitious 10-year-old girl who without a doubt will make sure her heart is heard around the country. Lysandra Brown, Live at 5.
What a sweet, sweet story. Hard to believe Lindsay is just 10 years old. What a great friend she is. And it's great to see Blake smile. We've got to know him through the MDA telethon. So what a neat, neat story. And don't forget, you can help fight muscular dystrophy by buying Shamrocks at Area Pilot convenience stores. Russell?
Liberty Swing. Lindsay began raising $25,000 for the Australian swing last year when she felt Blake and others needed to be able to play at school as well. That full story is coming up in our next half hour. Well, for more, a student fulfilled her dream today in giving her handicapped friend a way to enjoy being on the playground like her other classmates. The girl found a $25,000 swing on the internet, raised the money, and today it was dedicated to her fellow student. Volunteer TV Stephen McLam has the latest.
She's a good buddy, isn't she, honey? Yes.
Happy Tears is a year-long project for Lindsay Town is complete after she raised $25,000 to buy a Liberty Swing for Blake Goins, who is handicapped. In front of the students at Loudoun Elementary, Blake got to swing for the first time in more than 5 years.
To know that Blake wouldn't be left out anymore, it made me feel really happy because he won't be known as the wheelchair boy anymore. He'll be known as Blake. No hands!
The owner of the Liberty Swing found out about Lindsay's efforts and was so impressed he flew Lindsay and her mother to Australia where the swing is built.
When I rode it, I thought this would be great for Blake.
For Lindsay and her mom, it's been a very busy year, but a dream come true.
Putting Blake on that swing and seeing his face and seeing Lindsay's face, I stopped complaining.
It's awesome, great.
Local people were recognized for their efforts in erecting the swing, but Lindsay's dreams have not stopped. She now wants new laws for parks.
It has to be handicapped accessible, and there has to be something the handicapped can do. Woo!
In Loudon, I'm Stephen McLam, WVLT Volunteer TV News.
Wow, does it get any better than that? Well, the Liberty Swing owner was so impressed with Lindsay's efforts, he gave a second swing to the town that is currently being assembled in the city park and will be completed in the near future. Well, every Friday on the CBS Evening News with...
It might be on the agenda. Okay, first item we need to consider is a request to raise funds for a wheelchair swing for Fountain Elementary. And I'll let Ms. Mann speak to that.
My name is Lindsay Town. I am 9 years old, and I will be in the 4th grade at Loudon Elementary this fall. First, I want to thank you for allowing me to be your time to talk about something I think is very important to me. At Loudon Elementary, the last few years, I have had students that were in wheelchairs, and I know in the future we will have many more. A good friend of mine, Blake Goins, is in a wheelchair. He don't get to play on the playground equipment like the kids that have use of their legs. Our playgrounds are great because there are a lot of things to do. Except if you are in a wheelchair, you can just roll around the playground, but there's no equipment designed for the handicap. I don't think it's fair for a child who is living in their youth to be in a wheelchair to have to sit and watch all the other kids swing and have fun. That is why I wanted to talk to you today. On the internet, I found that these swings were specially designed for wheelchair use. It's a great idea that allows those without use in their legs and some motor functions to be able to feel the rush of the wind in their hair and the feeling of touching the sky. These swings will have fold-down seats for those who can walk, but lack the mobility to sit in a normal swing. They are called a Liberty Swing. I would like to have a swing like this at Loudon Elementary. I am aware that the cost of these swings are high, and I am wanting to help raise as much money as possible for the swings, if not all of it. My mom taught us that difference is on the inside and never look back down at anyone, but to look in their eyes and see that God makes us all different to judge our hearts and our willpower, not our looks, color, or differences. Carlisa and I had a lot of special memories on our playground. That made me want to do this for all of the special kids. They are special because God made them that way to test their hearts. And I think that they are awesome for going when the rest of us would have given up. You will read in the papers I gave you that these swings not only have a fun factor, but therapeutic too. They help bring smiles and laughs from deep inside that a joke couldn't make. They are study still and have a fold-down seat, fundraising, and make this happen. Only if you approve. The swing will cost around $24,000 to $30,000. Thank you.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Is this something the board wants to look into further?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we give her our blessings for that, and also that we as a board see what we can do along that line also.
Second. Got a motion second that we give her the blessing to continue with that project and help in any way that we possibly can too. Is that correct?
Yes, and I will take my company more.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Congratulations. I don't see why the community can't raise that.
Doing just that, and for a worthwhile cause.
As Volunteer TV's Stephen McLam shows you, the girl is raising about $25,000 for a handicapped swing for her classmates.
Many people in Loudoun County see Lindsey Town as a playful girl and a thoughtful girl. This upcoming fourth grader says Blake Goins is a friend at school, but he can't play like everyone else because he's handicapped.
When he goes in the grass to play kickball with the boys, he really can't play. All he can do is go in the grass and ride in his wheelchair.
So she went to her mother to see if there was something she could get to help him, and they looked on the computer.
She said it would be nice if they had a swing. So I typed in again wheelchair swing, and lo and behold, one of the first sites listed was libertyswing.com.
But we're kind of surprised at what it cost.
$32,000.
So Lindsey first went to the school board to ask permission to get a Liberty Swing and put it at their school at Loudoun Elementary, where she got unanimous consent.
The only thing she would gain from the whole process is the satisfaction of knowing that somebody else benefited from her efforts. And you see a child that young wanting to do that, gosh, you want to do anything you can to help them out.
So now she's going to the business community looking for help.
Handing out these papers to all kinds of these companies and wishing the best of luck.
Events through the PTO to help raise money, maybe a dunk the parent type thing.
And when she gets enough money, she hopes to dedicate the swing in memory of Carlisa Torres, her best friend who died in a house fire last year. In Loudoun, I'm Stephen McLam, WVLT, Volunteer TV News.
Headley says if you want to help, your tax-deductible donations can be made to the Loudoun County Education Foundation.
Being close to you, that you're so far away. Doesn't anybody
Cool off with a glass of lemonade and find out why the sky's the limit for a local planetarium. Plus,
school has just begun for this little girl, but she's already taught a valuable lesson.
talk about your jobs.
A jam-packed show including Maestro Lucas Richmond, one of our favorite guys. He's here to talk about what's coming up with the Knox. And a local little girl leads the fight to help a classmate join them on the playground.
Make me feel I can do more stuff.
One last splash out of the summer before school time.
That's right. They're soaking up what's left of the summer. These Knox County kids are going to be diving back into school in just a couple of days.
Back to school.
And they're trying to soak up every ounce of the summer before it ends.
We'll have a couple of more days before they head back to school, but Loudoun County actually started school today. I was there at Loudoun Elementary and met a special little girl who is helping make a dream come true for one of her classmates.
This is recess, all of that bottled up energy being released by school kids on the playground who are free to jump, play, run wild.
I can't do it that far backwards.
But even on a playground with a wide open space to play, there are still limitations, especially for 11-year-old Blake Goins, who has muscular dystrophy.
It's very hard when you know your child from birth has got a disease that he can't enjoy himself like the rest of the kids around him.
Blake does the best he can to have fun. He throws the ball around with the other kids on the playground, but he really wants to do more.
Been a long time I've been on a swing.
He hasn't been on a swing in 4 years, but one of his classmates is determined to change that.
I thought that there must be something that kids in wheelchairs could do.
9-year-old Lindsay Town was in search of something that could help her friend.
I went home and told my mama, and me and her went on the computer and typed in wheelchair swings, and we found something called the Liberty Swing.
It's a special swing built for kids in wheelchairs, but it's costly at $25,000. The Loudoun County School Board has already approved the swing. Now Lindsay needs help with the cost.
The first day, my mom told me an elderly lady put in $20.
Since then, Lindsay has raised $3,000.
The closer we get to the goal, the more excited she gets.
Lindsay says she's not giving up on the swing.
I just think she did a good job for me.
Lindsay wants to be the first one to push Blake on the Liberty Swing, and that's a day Blake's parents can hardly wait for.
Just the smile on his face would be worth it all.
Well, I tell you, we have the most amazing kids here in East Tennessee, always willing to help out, and so many kids this summer have used the summer to help other kids, so I think it's such a great thing. If you'd like to donate to the Liberty Swing, you can find out more information about that on our website, WBIR.com. Beth?
And hopefully you'll be there that first day
Yes,
he
I
gets
told
to
them,
sit in the
please
swing.
call me. I want to be there.
Well, we look forward to that day. Thank you so much, Lysandra. What a special young man, and he's got a great friend there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blake has been on MDA Telethon.
Yes, he has.
And you will
Yes.
see him again this year, I'm sure.
Good luck with that.
Well, teach.
Who are doing so much at such a young age. Michelle?
They sure are, and I have a very familiar face here. Everyone knows Blake Goins. Blake, glad to have you back.
Good to see you.
How's the school year been? So
Fine.
far, so good. And this is your friend Lindsay Town. How are you, sweetie?
Good.
Good. Now, you're in 4th grade, you're in 5th grade. You guys go to school together, and you've only known Blake for a short time, right?
Yes.
And I know you're working on something very, very special for him. And we have video of that. Our Lysandra Brown went and talked to you recently and to find out what you're working on. We're going to take a look at that video, and we'll come back.
This is recess, all of that bottled up energy being released by school kids on the playground who are free to jump, play, run wild.
I can't do it that far backwards.
But even on a playground with a wide open space to play, there are still limitations, especially for 11-year-old Blake Goins who has muscular dystrophy.
It's very hard when you know your child from birth has got a disease that he can't enjoy himself like the rest of the kids around him.
Blake does the best he can to have fun. He throws the ball around with the other kids on the playground, but he really wants to do more.
Been a long time I've been on a swing.
He hasn't been on a swing in 4 years, but one of his classmates is determined to change that.
I thought that there must be something that kids in wheelchairs could do.
9-year-old Lindsay Town was in search of something that could help her friend.
I went home and told my mama, and me and her went on the computer and typed in wheelchair swings, and we found something called the Liberty Swing.
It's a special swing built for kids in wheelchairs, but it's costly at $25,000. The Loudoun County School Board has already approved the swing. Now Lindsay needs help with the cost.
The first day, my mom told me an elderly lady put in $20.
Since then, Lindsay has raised $3,000.
The closer we get to the goal, the more excited she gets.
Lindsay says she's not giving up on the swing.
I just think she did a good job for me.
Lindsay wants to be the first one to push Blake on the Liberty Swing, and that's a day Blake's parents can hardly wait for.
Just the smile on his face would be worth it all.
Sure will. What do you think of that, Blake? You excited for a swing?
Yeah.
And Lindsay, that's a big job for someone your size and your age, don't you think?
Yeah.
You're going to do it, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you raising the money?
Any way I can.
Any way you can. And why is this so special to you?
Because it makes me feel like I can help somebody that can't hardly do anything.
You were telling me earlier that you were mad, and that's what got you started on this.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
Well, every time somebody from his class told me that he could hardly do anything. All he could do is sit in his wheelchair and just spill around or just sit there.
You want him to play along with everybody else, right? Okay. Well, and you're also working on some other things as well, talking to senators and so forth?
Yeah.
You got a lot of work. Well, I'm sure Blake and everyone else appreciates it. And Blake, you've been doing some fundraising of your own, haven't you?
Yep.
What you been doing?
Getting money.
Getting money? You just been going knocking door to door? And how much have you raised?
$1,100.
$1,100. That is wonderful. Well, very good. We can't wait to see you on your swing once we get the rest of that money. And thanks for all the hard work, Lindsay. Blake, good for you for MDA. We appreciate it. And what else is going on in school this year? Anything exciting?
Getting in trouble.
Get in trouble? Nah, I can't find that. I don't believe that for a minute. All right, well, kids, we enjoy you being here. I shouldn't even say kids because big responsibility on your backs. We appreciate it. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for being here. Russell, Beth?
Gosh, we can learn so much from youngsters. The two of them, she raised $3,000. He raised 17 minutes of research. They're kids.
Yeah.
Think what you can do sitting at home right now.
We'll go back up to the Liberty Swing update.
First, I want to thank you for approving the Liberty Swing. The project has come a long way. Friday is $5,000. United Way of Loudoun, 2,500. I met the president of Miss Australia and Mrs. World Australia Pageant, who is on the International Variety Board, who is contacting me and wanting her to need help with the dome for the swing. I met Mr. Devine. He is the inventor of the Liberty Swing. And when at this variety party, when I saw all these kids in wheelchairs, like the cheering, it made a smile coming in an expression.
Mr. Devine flew Lindsay and I, all expenses paid to Australia when he heard that she was a 9-year-old child. It really touched his heart so much to the point that not only is Loudoun Elementary getting this swing, and actually right after Christmas break is what we're looking at. He's ready to ship. The city of Loudoun is getting one at no cost, public. The city's approved it. I've sent all the plans and demographics to them on installation and everything. So citizens of Loudoun, whether old or young, will be more than happy and free will to use the swing. In Sydney, we went to a variety party, which is a charity that focuses on the disabled. There was over 5,000 children at this party. They had 2 mobile Liberty swings there. And the lines, well, I brought a tape, but there's no way to play it. So what I'll do is I'll just pass it on, and you all can just pass it on back and forth to each other. It shows the party, and it shows some, I had a chance to interview a few of the parents who allowed their children to be videotaped. One child, and you'll see him, his name is David. He's about 18 inches tall. He's 10 years old. While getting on the swing, he was in a near catatonic state. But while swinging on that swing, his face lit up so bright, it will bring tears to, I know, every one of your eyes. And that is what you guys have approved for all the people and all the children that ever passed through Loudoun County. We also visited a special school, St. George's School for the Severely Disabled. They've had their own Liberty Swing for 4 years now. And Lindsay and I had the honor of meeting a young man named Nick who loves to take that swing to its highest limits. And he does not speak. He has uncontrollable movements, but you can hear him say, higher. The only word that child can speak is the word higher when he's pushed. Lindsay also on the tape had a chance to ride in the Liberty Swing. Mr. Devine demonstrated how you can pump it with your hands. And he also put Lindsay on and took it to its near limits, but it has almost no limit. It just won't go all the way around. But it will meet that bar. It will take a child to the limits, whether they just toddle because of their disability or you just give them a good old shove and let them go. It was a really amazing experience. Mr. Devine proved to me personally that he's not out to get money. He sure spent a lot on us because we had a 4.5-star hotel on the beach. And very nice airfare, very nice flight. He also took us to all the sites, to the zoos. He just made sure we seen all that Sydney had to offer. We got to see swings in the parks and the way they incorporate them into the parks, so it's part of everything and not by itself like it's a segregated piece of equipment. And a lot of his parts are made here in America, so so we're buying our own stuff technically, so it's a really good thing. And he's hoping to, you know, grow with his business, and he can lower the cost for swings for others as well. But with this gentleman that Lindsay was saying, we met the CEO and chairman of the Miss Australia and Miss World Australia pageants, and she fell in love with Lindsay, and she knows a wealthy gentleman here in the States who secretly gives to causes, and she has contacted him, and he is waiting to hear from Lindsay on how much is left. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and keep it in our prayers every night that that's being done. But even before the money is sent in, Mr. Devine is sending the swings on. He's going to send them before payment because California has ordered a swing, and they are wanting it very soon, and Mr. Devine wanted the very first swing in America in a public access location to be Lindsay's because of her drive and her her tenacity to stay strong and fight for what she thinks is right. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone for approving her to start this battle, and she's not done yet. The swings may come, but her and sister are also trying to get law makers to see that this should be everywhere, that children everywhere should be able to enjoy the same thing, regardless of anything. So, one down, one more to go, hopefully, because Mom needs a break.
Well, we owe Lindsay a sincere thanks. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to the administrative reports.